Welcome everybody to Find You Fridays on this airy Friday the 13th, the first of the year in January of 2023. Oh my goodness, how did we get so lucky? And of course down here in South Australia it is hot. We are hot. It is 8 o'clock at night, as we know, and it is still 34 degrees where I am. So that makes for a bit of a challenging evening. I've got the fans going, I've got my water, I've got all this stuff happening. So all good though, all good. We're here, we're with you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how we go tonight, what's going to come up, what's going to be the magical things that come through today. Are we going to have a meditation this evening? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what comes out, see what pops, because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. So yeah, it's all good, and we will just keep rolling throughout the day and throughout the session. So I hope wherever you are, you're keeping cool and you're allowing yourself to drink plenty of water. I have my big water bottle with me today, so no tea, I'm afraid. I could have actually used, I have these, I know, Melinda, I could have used my, I have some cold brew type tea stuff, but I didn't think about it. I'm just on the water. This will be my 3rd liter for the day. So, yes, plus the other drinks I've had as well. So, super important to stay hydrated. If nothing else, stay hydrated. I've got a fan on this side. I've got a fan behind me. We're here. I'm part of the shiny people crew at the moment, so that's all good. Alrighty. So, of course, remembering that if you wish to have an extended reading tonight, you're more than welcome to donate a little bit for that. And then I can do a lovely extended reading for you, targeting maybe a specific area that you're looking at, something like that. I'm really excited because, well, I have a lot of things going on at the moment, but tomorrow I'm actually going to be out at the Crystal Pyramid Fair at the Bagura, I think that's how, Bagura Recreation Centre in Modbury North. So I'm really looking forward to that. That one there is, what was the address? Oh yes, 140 Kelly Road, Modbury North. So I'm looking forward to being there tomorrow. I'm fingers crossed they have an awesome air conditioning system, because it's supposed to be roughly the same temperature tomorrow as it was today. And so all of my cleaning stuff is out of my car, and all my healing type stuff is in my car. Oh boy. And and then tomorrow evening I've got to switch it all around again. Will I switch it around tomorrow? Probably. I'll at least pull everything out of my car, because then on Sunday I have to do a whole bunch of cleaning, because I don't do enough, because we've got a show through on Monday. So happy days. And we have our first donation for the evening. Thank you, Melinda. Woo-hoo! Happy days, happy days. I'm looking forward to doing your reading and seeing what pops up. So yeah, that's it's a lot of stuff I've got going on over the weekend, but hey, that's life. That's what happens sometimes, and sometimes it just looks really super hectic, and other times it does not. But yeah, something else that's really fun that I didn't share with you guys last week was, while I was away house sitting, I created for myself my own little monthly diary, because I was very frustrated with not being able to find a monthly diary. So, like a month on month like that. And the really ironic thing is that I walked into the post office this week, and what do you know? They had them there for $7. But my diary has all sorts of cool things. Like it's got some Target stuff, financial Target stuff in there. And then we've got my moons are all on there. So I don't have to ask you guys what's happening with the moons, because they're all on there now. They're all charted out for me. I've got, and it's just personalized, you know. So for the first time in a long time, I'm using one of these proper diary things. And last year I started using one, but it was a thick one, and it had like a week per 2 pages as well as the monthly. And I never used the week per 2 pages. So I was like, it's just a waste of money. So I've got all of these, you know, journal thingies here. I may as well use one. So I did. So that was actually one of my projects over that week between Christmas and New Year's. So that was heaps of fun. I enjoyed creating that for myself. And I've just thought of another one that I want to make. So, it's a address book. So you don't really find address books anymore. And I think I'm ready to upgrade the one that I've got. And so I may just have to go and make myself one. And, you know, personalize that too. So, because it's always handy to have things like addresses written down. Because if you lose your phone or it crashes or whatever, you've got everything written down, and that makes life a lot easier. So, and often if I'm at the post office or something like that, it's easier to have my little, you know, address book with me to write someone's address. And anyway, that's just random stuff. That's my crafty side coming out, you know. All right, so let's have a look at this reading for the next 7 days. Which cards wish to come and play? Let's have a look. So, of course, we know that we have the moon is that the last third is on Sunday. And so moon-wise, that actually means it's talking about acknowledging the things that are going on in your world, releasing, and it's a time of forgiveness. It's a time of forgiveness for yourself. It's a time of forgiveness of others. So that's something that you can sort of have a little bit of a focus on Sunday. It's also got the affirmation of I am enough. So that's kind of cool to just pop that away in your little side memory there somewhere. And let's have a look and see what these cards wish to do with us for the next 7 days. Let's see how we can best maneuver through from the 14th through to the 20th of January. Let's see what pops. Whoa, we're going to jump it today. That's always fun. Aw, hey Lynn. I haven't had a chance to watch your live, but I'm so proud of you for doing it, hun. I did see that you'd done one, and I was like, oh, wow. And it just made me smile so much. I was just like, oh, my goodness, that's so exciting. So, so proud of you. If I could be here naked and be cool, then I would be here naked and cool. I can tell you that much. Oh, that's awesome. I will get to and watch it, I promise. Because I was just so proud of you. It's just been so chocker busy. All right, so let's do this general reading for the next 7 days from the 14th to the 20th of January. And this will, of course, include the energies of that last quarter moon, last third of the moon, acknowledging and releasing, and, you know, with the affirmation of I am enough, all incorporated in there. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Ooh, like it. All right. So for the next 7 days, we've got to keep an open mind, friends. So along with remembering that you're enough, this is tying in quite nicely to that forgiveness aspect of being able to keep an open mind so that you can learn perhaps a different way of being with others. There's an element there of when we learn to forgive something or within somebody else or ourselves, there's that space of being able to move into a different pathway and a different way of being with either yourself or with other people. So I'm currently transitioning and processing a lot of stuff around bodies and relationships and stuff like that. So right now where I'm at is I'm having to forgive myself for a lot of choices and decisions and belief systems that I made over 20 years ago, and probably even before that. So that's all processing out of me at the moment. And so this moon quarter, thus third rather, is right on track for where I'm at the moment too. So the next card that comes up is spread your wings, baby. So if you've got that big idea or something that's going on in the background there, and it is niggling at you, it's been knocking you on the back of the head for the last couple of weeks or months, now's the time. This week is the time to launch that thing, whatever it is, whether it be a Facebook Live, whether it be a workshop, whether it be a book club, whether it be whatever it is, time is now. The energies are all behind you to move forward and have a big leap forward. So that's really, really fucking cool. Clear your space. So it's also a time of decluttering. So if you have time over the weekend, and this is actually something else that matches up with that last third of the moon, is around decluttering and removing the things that no longer serve you. And so the reading is coming up and confirming that too, to say to be aware of the energies around you. Look at the feng shui around you. Is there a way to change your room around so that it creates better feng shui? If you're into that sort of thing, is it, is it a possibility to just make space where perhaps you are cluttering things up, even digital space? So how many emails have you got sitting in your email box? Is it time to just clear some of those out, unsubscribe from some things? And if things keep coming up that you've already unsubscribed for, is it time to block those emails? That's a form of decluttering as well. So decluttering isn't just about decluttering the physical stuff. It's also digital and uncluttering, and also energetic uncluttering. So maybe if you're an energy worker and you know some other energy workers, perhaps this weekend or this week is the time to get to and do some energy swaps with others to declutter the mind, to get rid of some of that, clear that space out so that you can fly and spread your wings with a lot more ease. So we've got the indigo and crystal children, that card that's come up. And that's usually to do with working with children. I heard somebody the other day say, I don't work directly with children, but because I do a lot of inner child work, that makes me actually, yes, I work with children. as well. So that was actually Vicky Morales on our Tasty Tuesday show. And I agree with that very much. So perhaps along with decluttering some of that stuff and looking at that forgiveness aspect. So what part of your inner child is asking for forgiveness this week? What part of your inner child is crying out and asking for some peace and calm? What part of your inner child is crying out for I am enough? You know, asking to be told, yes, you are enough, just as you are. So have a look at that for yourself over the next week. The next card that we've got is breathe. So breathe, my beautiful ones. So often we end up breathing from the top part of our body, our chest, rather than the low part, using our diaphragm and our stomachs, and we end up doing this a lot. And we wonder why we haven't got enough space within to be able to handle all sorts of different energies that are floating in and around us. So thank goodness we're all past the Christmas and the New Year's thing. I know that we're coming into the Chinese New Year, so that's another aspect that's popping up for some of us, and being aware of all of that too. But within ourselves, if we look at this, you know, last third, I keep saying quarter, but it's the last third. Just breathing, it allows you to function and move through. If you're in a place like I am where it's very, very hot, you know, being able to breathe low will actually help to keep the blood pressure down. Breathing low and slow lowers your blood pressure, which means you won't actually feel the heat as much. Top tip. All right. Now, the next two cards, I was just like, oh, this is exciting. So we got a new earth, and it says it's happening. Keep holding the vision. So for all of you beautiful light workers out there who have been, you know, trudging the troughs and just being out there and doing the pavement stuff and just doing your work, and you feel like, man, it's been a really long, hard slog. It has, but it's paying off, and the cards are saying it's happening now. This new space that we've been working towards for all of these weeks, months, years, even decades, is here now. And that's really, really super exciting. So this card to me says, please keep going, keep doing what you're doing, because whatever you're doing is amazing and it's contributing to the collective, and that is absolutely perfect. So keep doing what you're doing. The next card that we've got is Whale and Orca Elders. So share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So I get the sense that this is actually heading towards the end of next week, where you're going to be required to even more so be seen and heard, where you're being asked to dive deep on some of those things that have maybe been a little bit niggly and sitting off to the side, and you've been trying to sort of sweep them under the carpet for a while or put them up in the cupboard. Now's the time to have a look at just opening that up a little bit and just really having a look at what that is, diving deep with it, coming underneath and just seeing, okay, what is the truth here? Why has this been the case for this long? Maybe it's one of those interesting points of views. Maybe it's a bit hidden belief system, or and a belief system that's just kind of been functioning in the background that you've not really thought of, but it pops up in another way. And it's not until you actually start digging down that you realize, oh, sheesh, okay, that actually comes from XYZ. And a really good way to do that is through intuitive writing. So like the way that I would suggest doing intuitive writing is to sit and meditate, maybe to music or something like that for 5 minutes. Just low breathing for 5 minutes. You can put a timer on it, a gentle timer. Nothing that's like because it's a bit too jarring. So just a nice sort of like ding ding when the time is done. And then after that, and right at the top of the page, whatever question it is that you want to dive deep on, or whatever area that you'd like to dive deep on, and then just start writing. Just whatever words, phrases, symbols, lines, whatever comes to you, start writing it down on a blank piece of paper, preferably without lines. The reason for that is the lines kind of restrict the flow of creativity, and it restricts the flow of intuition. So if you can draw and write and, just allow a big brain dump, if it comes out as words and you don't know how to spell them, don't worry about it. Just write it as is, phonetically. However, you can look back over it afterwards and interpret it. Okay, so that's what I would suggest doing that with the diving deep, but perhaps towards the end of next week is more where that one is. I feel like that one's coming in. Let's have a look at our yummy card. Oh, wow. So our dreams are asking to be acknowledged, seen, heard, and again, we're coming back to this card, acted upon. It's a time of action. Okay, so along with the decluttering and all of that, it's a time of action. Breathe low and slow. Do that often if you can. And just keep on moving. All right, hopefully that helps. Oh, Brooke, thank you, sweet pea. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Thank you. So we've got Melinda, who's first up for an extended reading tonight. So Melinda, you know the dealio. Let's have a look, see. PayPal's gonna be kind and just let me straight in. Had a moment there. They're doing all sorts of different weird and wonderful things over in PayPal land. Okay. Cool. Keeping on my water. All righty, Melinda. Who wants to play with Melinda? I knew this set was going to come out today. I knew it and still didn't undo it. So let's have a look. You know I like specific stuff, right? How have you kept cool today, Brooke? I'm turning more and more into the shiny people as we go on because my room's so stuffy today. I feel like I've missed some stuff. Yeah. Been a hot. I hopped in my car today and it said 41 degrees when I went down to the shops. Okay. Very quickly cooled down to 37. Crazy. No. There we go. Yeah, the only trouble with the damp towel in front of the fan is that it doesn't stay damp for long. There's so many things. Like you can use a little spray. You can. My friend in Canada, she actually puts a bowl of ice, like water with lots of ice in it, and she puts that in front of the fan, and that also helps. Yeah, there's lots of things. All right, Melinda, let's have a look, see what you got. Okay. What are you? Cool. Okay. So we've got an interesting reading here. We've got the two different card decks, but they're sort of mimicking each other, which is really interesting. So we've got Joseph of Arimathea. So we've got the Mary Magdalene set, and this is about planting your intentions deep. So what I'm hearing for this one for you, Melinda, is like be really not only just clear about your intentions, but like for the next, say, 12 months, the next week, however long, and also from maybe a more personal sense, as an intimate relationship, romantic sense, really have a look at what your intentions are. It's kind of like I'm sort of seeing that whole thing of like when the young suitor comes to meet the parents and the dad says, "So, what are your intentions with my daughter?" It feels a little bit like that. It's like your spirit team is asking you to get really, really super clear about what you intend to do with the next 12 months, say, and even the next week. I'm hearing like just get really clear about what you intend to achieve, what you intend to, the energies you intend to put out there, because they're requiring you to just knuckle down and get really focused, sharpen up those intentions and those targets and those goals. So even if you go back over the meditation from last week, and you can still use that moon energy through whatever your target is, but unless you've actually got that target to work towards, your team's kind of going, well, okay, I don't know what you want me to do, but here I am. I'm willing to do something with you and for you, but you got to give me some direction, man. So that's what I'm getting out of that card for you. I'm seeing this one here is the Renes Les Barnes, and which is replenish and recharge. So with this one, I'm sensing like, have you been allowing yourself that nice balance between work, but also allowing yourself to balance out with your spiritual energetic side as well? Because if you're not recharging your spiritual energetic side, then your work side is going to start faltering and getting a little bit tired and a little bit finding it harder to function. And your body will start to slow down. It might show some extra aches and pains. It might be giving you some signs and signals that it's requiring a little bit of nourishing on the energetic side. So replenish and recharge your other side for a little bit and take some moments. As you know, when it comes to the energetic world, you don't actually have to do it for very long. It's not like you have to go off and spend a 3-day retreat in the mountains to be able to recharge your energetic side. It can be done very quickly and very easily, but it's your team is asking for you to double down on that a little bit more too, please. This next card is an interesting one, and I'm just going to have a quick look at something. See, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. All right, beautiful. So this next card that we've got for you is Magdalene's Portal, which is the gateway. So along with these previous two, this one here is saying that you're actually upgrading at the moment, and you're upgrading in your capacities and your abilities, whether you're sort of thinking that you are or not. It's happening, and within that, you're going to have, that's why this replenish and recharge card has come up, because as you're moving through this, you're ready. Okay, your team and your higher self and all the rest of it have said, yep, cool, she's done all the work, she's mastered those other things, she's ready for the next thing now. So you're actually moving through and you're upgrading, you're expanding out, you're moving into some new capacities and abilities, and with that, it can be a little bit unsettling. So that's where that recharge and rest comes in. Replenish and recharge comes in, so that you are full and ready to like work through whatever it is that's coming through to you now. This next one, which was interesting, is actually inverted. And Oracle cards don't invert very often for me, but here we go. So here she is, Mary, up the right way. And this is Mary with the alabaster jar, and it says ask questions. So you're not asking enough questions at the moment. You're just kind of, that's what's this way, right? You're not asking enough questions. So what that says to me is that you're just kind of like going with the flow each day and just sort of seeing where it leads you. Is kind of like la. Let's just go with the flow. I've got to get up, I've got to go to work, or you know, whatever you got to do. But you're not really asking your body, truth, what would you like to do today? Truth, what would you like to eat today? Or truth, what would you like to surround yourself with? Truth, what would you like to indulge in? Truth, what would you desire to play with today? You're not asking enough questions of your body and of your being. They're asking you to, you know, open that side of you up again. Okay. And the next card's interesting because it says exactly pretty much the same thing, right? So we've got lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. So this is an interesting, these next two cards are actually a really interesting summary of the whole previous four. So as you can see, you're being asked to question everything. You're being asked to let things go. So you've got to, that's to do with the replenish and the recharge, you know, planting your intentions deep. That's all in there as well, because when you plant your intentions really deep, you tend to be focusing on that rather than the things that are just actually not important, and they will go naturally, quite naturally. So yeah, and the lifting of the veil, so again, it's about and that's to do with the portal one. Okay, so you're growing through and moving into a new space, which is really super duper exciting. And the next card that we've got is all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, and turn your gaze within. Okay, so this is asking you to be questioning. It's asking you to trust your intuition. It's asking you to, be the space, the holder of the space for these new capacities that are being remembered right now, and allow yourself the space to embrace them with ease. Okay, like the young lady going around the maze and just dancing her way through it. It's time for you to dance your way through this next little upgrade. Okay, your next card, and of course, if you'd like a lovely extended reading like Melinda is getting, feel free to pop through a donation to the PayPal account. It's in the show notes. It's rolling across the bottom of the screen. It's in the chat. It's all there. Okay. And Melinda, of course, we've got heart. So this is about tapping into your heart some more, asking your questions, allowing your heart to come forward, and along with that, of course, allowing all the aspects of you as a gorgeous, gorgeous goddess woman to come out to play, to allow your intuition. For me, I use 3 different centers for checking my intuition when I've got stuff coming up, or I'm upgrading, or I'm doing different things, or whatever it might be. So yeah, I hope that helps. Looking forward to seeing where this next phase is taking you, because it's looking pretty jolly exciting, I have to say. Alrighty, thank you, Melinda. Thank you for your donation. I'm super grateful for you. And Mr. Brooke, are you here, my sweet? You still floating around? Yeah. And just be aware that if you don't replenish and recharge, you might get sick. And that will because that's your body's way of forcing you to replenish and recharge. So if you can replenish and recharge like nowish, like give yourself some really good nourishing and nourish that spiritual side, you'll be fine and you won't get sick. But if you ignore it and you just keep sort of going day to day and just not listening and not asking yourself questions and, not being in that upgrading space of really focusing on that, you will probably come down with some sort of cold or, a range of headaches or something like that. That'll just put the kibosh on you, just being able to float through without paying much attention. Alrighty, mister. So, Mr. Brooke, thank you for your donation as well. I'm very, very grateful for you. Healthy, clean, non-processed helps. Yes, exactly. Food, whatever. It'll definitely helps with an upgrade. Just cleaning out the system. Other than just general, is there any specific area, or are you seriously just want a general reading? It's good practice for tomorrow. Generally, okay. Just seeing who wants to come play with Brooke. Okay. I swear you guys are making me open up all my cards today. That's all right. I'm grateful that I have so many different types to play with. You're a good lassie. No takeaways. I certainly can't say that. Okay. Beautiful. Well done, Brooke. This is the big one. Takes me longer to shuffle. Yeah, I know how easy it is to get lost in the flow of, life, and if you've done a big day and you just want to come home and relax, and so you just sort of want to just zone out, maybe get on your phone, play games, or watch telly or whatever it is, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, just so that you can just turn your brain off for a while. I get that. I guess it's more of a thing of being mindful of just how often you use it as an excuse or a crutch to not nourish and nurture yourself, to just sort of push all of that stuff away, because sometimes it's a bit confronting, Cool. That's the thing with our spiritual side, is it takes a bit of effort, Okay. Interesting. The card there feels like it should be first. I love it when Spirit does this, because it goes and gives the cards to me in reverse. So it's kind of like, I've asked for a reading for like the next month for you, and it's kind of like given it to me in the reverse order, and it's asking me to do it now backwards. So that is what we will do. So yeah. So the tarot deck's coming up first. We've got the Ram here, which is talking about clashes. Okay, so there's some personal clashes, or maybe there's a fight going on in your world, perhaps, between you and either someone or something else. And this card is basically saying to ask you to decide if it's actually worth your energy or not. And then once you've made that choice, once you sort of use your intuition to decide, okay, is it actually worth my energy to get really racked up about this? Is it worth my energy and my time to spend so much, monkey minding about it? Then you can kind of go, okay, well, how can I move forward from here? And it's saying, how do you do that without sacrificing your goals, all your beliefs? Okay, so it's an interesting one, that one is actually asking to be first. So there's something going on, there's some kind of conflict going on, and it's asking you to be mindful of just how much energy you're putting into that conflict, because it's like, perhaps it's actually not worth it. Maybe it's something that is able to be solved with a lot more ease. It's an interesting one, that card. The next card that we've got is the Persian cat. And the Persian cat is talking about don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. Okay. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. So put them in order of priority. Get your list out. And I see that you said something about their effort and discipline. So this might be an area where perhaps you require to have a daily diary. And the night before you go to bed, write out your to-do list for the next day, your order of priority. Like, even if you just write it out as random and then prioritize with numbers or however you want to do that. Okay. So it's asking for you to be very clear about what is most important. And once you've got that and you've got that forward focus, then like that, you go to bed knowing what you've got to do the next day. And then you wake up going, right now, this is what I'm going to do for the day. And you'll find that, especially with that first card, that conflict, whatever that is, it'll become less noise in your head because your focus will be more over here. It doesn't mean that whatever's going on over there with that conflict doesn't have to be dealt with. It does. It's just that it doesn't require as much energy as what you've been giving it. Okay. The next card that we've got is the King of Autumn. And this is the Gypsy Vanna horse. Very cool. And this says, everything's going to turn out great. The projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. So basically the foundation that you're putting through at the moment, so bearing in mind this is sort of a reading for roughly the next month or so, like whatever groundwork you're doing now is absolutely perfect, and you're doing the right thing for yourself. You're moving forward, and it's really important to keep doing that. Horses don't like being held back. They don't like being told that they can't do something. So allow yourself that space to keep going, moving forward. Give yourself those parameters. Write those to-do lists for the next day, the night before, all those sorts of things. Then in the evening time, you can actually do a reflection as well of how your day has gone, what you did well. Don't focus too much on what you didn't achieve or didn't do well. You just roll that over to the next day. Like the things that you didn't get done, you just roll them onto the next day, and then they sort of move up in the order of priority because they've already been there. Do you know what I mean? But also take a moment to acknowledge the things that have gone well over the day, the things that you've achieved, even if it's something as small as, I got 5 loads of washing done today. Like that, I'm sure you don't have that much washing, but you know what I mean? And like that might be the big thing for today. Maybe you did a big, huge round of decluttering or something like that. Or you made an absolute bomb salad from the food that you've grown in your backyard, and that's your highlight of the day. But make sure that every single day you're giving yourself a moment of acknowledgement to say, yes, I've done that well today. Because whatever is happening with that conflict, that moment of all right. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Oh dear. Gotta love internet. I think the heat is affecting the internet. I've never had that happen before, but there you go. The next card that we've got for you is the 9 of Autumn, which is the ragdoll cat. And you know what? Ragdoll cats are fluffy. Oh my gosh. They just put fluff everywhere. They just go little fluff balls. Anyway, which is interesting because that they've put the ragdoll cat with this particular card, because it says your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. So that's what the card itself says. Okay, so along with that, and being the ragdoll cat, what that's saying to me is like you're sowing so many seeds of possibilities out there at the moment, and have been for a long time, much like the cat with their hair that just goes everywhere. So now it's time to just sort of dial down and just look at really what is specifically, again, prioritizing what is requiring your energy the most, and having that knowledge that this creation or creations are going to be fucking amazing for you. Okay. And that follow your heart, follow your gut, follow your, all your internal knowing systems of knowing, yes, this is for me, and this is the way I can move forward, and this is what's actually going to create the most. So again, asking those questions of truth, what will it create in 100 years if I do this? Truth, what will it create in 100 years if I don't? Truth, what will it create in 100 years if I do this? Or truth, what will it create in 100 years if I do this? Sometimes you'll find that when you ask that question, both will feel quite light. Go with the one that feels lightest, okay? Because that happens too. Like I had a couple of different options for for Sunday to do. Both of them were light, but one of them was far lighter than the other. And so that's what I chose. So that's just something for you. The next one we've got is the Prince of Autumn. You've got lots of autumn cards, which is interesting. You've got 2 springs and 3 autumns. So we've got a seahorse, which is, and it's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. So again, it's just repeating it over and over again, that you have to just get really organized with yourself. And so truly it is about getting that diary, or however, whether it be a digital or written down, doesn't matter, but you've just got to get really super sharp focused on where your energies, what your projects are, what you're working on for the next month. And it's no longer going to be okay to just flow from day to day with you. You've got to keep moving on those bigger picture items that you're asking for. Okay, yeah, there's that discipline side of it, but it's also about honoring you. So if you're truly honoring you, if you're truly honoring the creation, if you're truly honoring your business, or however you're doing that, then you will make time for that. But if you're not honoring that, if you're being dishonoring of any of those things, including yourself, then you will make excuses for not doing it. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, it's too hot. Oh, I've had such a hard day. Oh, I'm hungry. Netflix show is way more interesting. You'll make excuses for not writing that to-do list at the very least, for not breaking down those bigger goals into smaller chunks. You'll make excuses for all of it. Okay. The next thing that we've got here is more personal body stuff. Okay. So we got gray, which is about learning to scan your body. Now, I'm pretty sure you know how to do this, being that you've done Reiki and all. So it's time to break out a bit more of those skills and talents and capacities that you've got. Your body is trying to tell you something at the minute, and it's asking you to listen. Okay. So whatever that is, do some body scans, ask get more in tune with what's happening with him, and look at how you can facilitate the healing of that, and because you know what to do. You've got a lot of capacities. You can do a lot of self-healing, and you might even find it's to do with maybe some childhood stuff. It might be, past relationship stuff. It could be childhood stuff in relation to your parents. It could be all sorts of things. Most trauma that I've seen is actually, while we sometimes attribute it to a relationship, like an adult relationship, quite often it has roots right back when we were little. So have a little bit of a look at that, because the next card that we've got for you is lavender. Okay, and the lavender is about connecting to the mind, body, and soul. So it's time for you to spend a little bit more time connecting all those aspects of you together again. Okay, they've sort of become a little bit fractured by the sense of, like, looking at those two cards, they've become a little bit distant. So it's time to come back, tune in with your beautiful body, and allow him to speak with you with a lot more clarity. Okay. Yeah, your body is, yeah. And the last card, yummy card that we've got for you, is to acknowledge. So again, as I was saying earlier, please take a moment to acknowledge just how far you've come, because there's some pretty awesome things that are coming your way. You're going to have a lot more financial ease. Looking at these cards and the way they'll come out, there's a lot more financial ease coming. But for you to receive that financial ease, you've just got to have those moments of actually being really honoring of you, honoring of the process of, like, dialing down on the things that but require more of your attention and your energy, rather than the things that don't. Okay, then the things that are draining on you and not contributing, then deal with them as quickly as you can and get them out of your head, because they're not required. Okay, hope that helps, Brooke. Thank you so much for the donation. I am super duper grateful. How does it get any better? Wow. Who knew? That's nearly an hour already. Woohoo! Love it. Alrighty. So let's just check up in PayPal land. I haven't heard any more ding dongs on my phone, so I don't think. But of course, if you do wish to have an extended reading like our beautiful friend Brooke, then pop through a donation. You're welcome, Brooke. I'm not brilliant. Your team is, because it's your team that's talking to me. I'm just letting the words flow as we do. All right. What do we wish to play with next? All righty. So those of you who have not yet had a reading, can see a few of you up there. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'll pop this one off for a moment, because it's time for Yes, that's right, my friends. Pick a number between 1 and 88. The first one that pops into your head, not your favorite number. All right, that's really important here. Make sure it's the first number that pops into your head. All right, so those of you who have not yet had a reading, please feel free to do that. And I'll do a little gratitude poetry book reading for you. Do, 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 do. That feels good. Lots of water. Lots of water. Come on, Lynn. Angelita. Oh, yes. Hi. I did see you popped up in there. And who else is in and around? Who did I see? Hi, Aurora. Beautiful. Okay, Angelita. Number 9. Let's have a look. Okay, you got emotions. Like, love, lust. All 3 words describe the same thing. An attraction to another, their soul, mind, and body. But how to tell the difference? When 2 people meet, they may get along, but who can say it's true love? True love comes out of knowing a person right into their soul. To like someone, that's when they just aren't sure, but like leads to love. True lust. This is the easiest to fall for. It is pure bodily attraction. They like what they see and go for it. Sometimes it ends in sorrow, sometimes it carries on in strength, sometimes it never starts. So, Angelita, my sweet, like, do you have really conflicting emotions over something at the moment? Like, you just don't quite know which way to go with it. And it's like, you sort of feel like you're being pulled in perhaps 3 different ways. So, thank you so much, Sherry. We'll get to you after I've done these little gratitude journals, gratitude poems. Thank you so much, Sherry. So yeah, it feels a little bit like that. I think that last little bit is sort of like the one line that really stood out to me in all of this was go for it. All right. So, and it was like, and go for it. It was just like, that was really loud. And so, whatever it is that you've got, like weird sort of pulling you one way or the other type feeling, sort of like, is it this? Is it this? You're trying to do the pros and the cons and the blah, 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 blah. It's like, just go for it. Whatever it is. Like, even if it ends in sorrow, even if it carries on in strength, even if it doesn't go anywhere, at least you've given it a go, and you can't, like, you won't be sitting back going, what if? All right. Your team doesn't want you to have what ifs anymore. Okay. So whatever that is, do it. Oh dear. Alrighty. Christian, 61. Beautiful. Okay. Christian, you got false faces. Your little brave face, how well you cover up, showing the world what they want to see. Just below the surface is a secret, something that I know. I wish I could take the pain away, yet from my experience, I know I can't do that. But I'll be there for you for as long as possible, for you to lean on, and if you wish to reach out, take my hand and I'll lead you away from the darkness, even if I've done it a million times before. Don't be afraid to show the other side of your brave little face. Christian, you are supported. You have a lot of people around you that do love you. And whatever's going on in your heart, in your mind, and whatever conflict is happening there between those two elements, please know that you're okay, that you will be okay, and that this too shall pass. I know that that's one of those annoying cliches that people say, but it's true. And whatever is going on at the moment, making you feel more of those heavier, dense feelings, and perhaps you're trying to keep them in because, you don't want to stress or worry anybody else. It's okay to let the people around you know what's going on. Even if you have to go and speak to a professional, like a counselor or something like that, it's okay. But be honest and let somebody, at least one person, know the truth of what is behind your smile. Okay? So, I get that false face thing of feeling like you've got to be sort of showing like you've got it handled, but I'm getting a real sense of heartache happening at the moment, of it's sort of making my stomach is quite queasy, just tuning into that energy. Okay, so please talk with someone. Please allow someone to hear the gut-wrenching truth of what's going on for you in your heart and your mind, and allow those things to come out, because at the moment they're just causing a lot of internal conflict and it's not doing you any good. Okay, hope that helps, my friend. Okay. All right. So if nobody else wants a gratitude journal, a gratitude journal. You're welcome, Christian. I'm just going to have a little 30-second break, and then we will be back to do Cherie's reading. And Cherie, if you could please... Oh, true, Lynn. 17. Sorry, sweets. I nearly forgot. I thought there was another one in there. Friends. They are the people with whom you share your deepest thoughts and emotions. For some strange reason, people are drawn together and a bond which can't be seen forms. As time goes on, this tie can strengthen, but at the same time become even more fragile. These people trust each other, trust what they say as true, and trust what they do as being genuine. Sometimes a friend will do something which they think is for the best, but that can damage the bond between the two friends. This is the true test of friendship, to see whether they can come out on top and be even stronger. All right. So, Lynn, I'm guessing that there's somebody in your world that has perhaps, quote unquote, betrayed your trust lately. What I'm sensing from that particular poem for you is to really look and see what's more important. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of this. So there's somebody in my world who a year and a half ago said straight to me on the phone, that she felt that everybody who was unvaccinated deserved to die. And that hurt me a lot. This is somebody who I treasure very, very dearly. And to have her say that, she doesn't know whether I am vaccinated or not. It's not really anybody's business but mine. And I found that very difficult to let go of that hurt, that betrayal of trust, essentially. Because as far as I was concerned, she would have defended me to the ends of the earth. She was somebody who was like family. She's not family, but she was like family. And I was so absolutely deeply hurt, heart hurt. And so I spent a lot of months just kind of not really ruminating on it, but just feeling betrayed. And then thanks to this podcast and so many of you who have had similar, not the same, but similar things where you feel absolutely betrayed and, you know, that trust level has been broken, all those sorts of things, and you're having to figure out whether you continue forward with that person or not. Thanks to all of your guys' readings, I had to sort of step back and go, well, if I was doing a reading for me in this situation, what would it come out as? And intuitively, it was like, well, that one comment was made from a place of unawareness. Does it change who she is? If we take that one little comment, pop it to the side, does it change any of the rest of who she is? And it's like, no. And in fact, the rest of who she is still beautiful. It's still loving. It's still kind. It's still giving. It's still all the things that I love about her. And so that's what I'm choosing to focus on, rather than this one hurtful comment a year and a half ago. So I've, reached out again, and I've had a fabulous conversation with her and shared emails with her again. And, and it's just like no time has passed. So really have a look at what is important to you with this friend or friends. Is it more important to you to hold on to that grudge, to hold on to that heart hurt, or is it more important to you to just pop that to the side, give it no more significance, and have a look at what else that person or people are, and see if, without that comment or actions or whatever it is, have a look for yourself and see, do you truly still wish to be in touch with that person? Or is that just kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back? Like, have you been ignoring a lot of things previously, and now you're in a space of looking at that and going, oh, actually, no, I can see the truth of what's going on here, and I don't particularly like it. So I think I might just actually let them go. And then it becomes a space of thank you. Thank you for showing me your truth. Thank you for showing me who you truly be. Thank you for all the time that we've spent together up until now. And now it's time for us to go our separate ways. I wish you all the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So have a look at that. Okay. Yeah, friendships are a funny thing. Hi, Jody. Thank you for joining us tonight. So super grateful. All right. All right, Brooke. I'm actually going to do your number. I'll send you a private message with your one, okay? And 36. Melinda, there's someone in spirit world that is saying hi. Perhaps they are having, like, they've got a birthday or something coming up soon, some sort of anniversary, whether it be the birthday or death day, something like that. There's somebody in spirit form that is asking for you to just go hi. They're saying hi. Because the first words, which are the most like shining out here, and is on this day, which is oh so special, I am thinking of you. And I wonder how you've been, and I wonder how you are and where you've been. So that's the first part of this poem, Enduringly Edged. So whoever that is for you, say hi, love you. All right. Let me just jump back to 75 so I can bookmark that for later. All right. Now back up to Sherry. I'd like to know when moving and when I'm going away from my government. Joan? What's a Joan? I'm guessing that's supposed to be a loan, maybe? Hi, Lisa. Hello, sweet pea. That was my second option. That was a job. I was like, which way did she go? Is it a loan or is it a job? Oh, Angelita, a black obsidian crown. Wow. Yeah. Belinda, absolutely. Yeah. Everything just like yeah. So he's saying hi. He's like, how you been? Still loving you. Yeah. That's so pretty. I love it. And it's interesting, isn't it? Like, people think ex-husbands, like I've got 2 ex-husbands. One I want nothing to do with. The other one I still am very good friends with today. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and he's thinking of you too. He's around you, which is just so pretty. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, my heart is man, you guys are gonna give me a heart problem seriously. I've gone from heartbreak to heartache, but in a really big loving way. Oh, it's just like big warmth. It's like my heart's just going bloom, 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 bloom. I love it. Oh, look at those people. I'm going shiny people. Oh. Whew. All right. Sherry, back to you, my sweet. Okay. Who wishes to come play with Sherry? Okay. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, Sherry. A lot of what you're asking is about personal choice. It's not universal choice, it's you. Okay? So it's like there's this real what is that? There's this element of money and control that is really playing a big part on your feminine side. Okay? So so just reading Angelita's comment there. So yeah, Sherry, like, where are you allowing money and control to stop you? Like, if you were truly being you and being the balance of masculine and feminine, you know, because at the moment your masculine side is really strong and it's trying to control everything, and your feminine side is not being allowed to use her intuition at all. You're not allowing her, like, she's getting like this side of my around my ear and stuff, this where I feel the access bars points. So this is where I'm getting my information from, but also from your team. It feels really like a little bit clogged and a little bit like kind of like feeling like bile running out through my ear. Sort of, it just feels a little bit toxic up through here, like acidic. And it's kind of like it feels to me from a body sense wise that you're allowing yourself to perhaps be up in your monkey mind too much. You're not allowing your divine intuition, your goddess, any of that to speak right now. Your passion, your desires, your what do you truly wish to have in your life? What do you truly what does the energy of your life that you desire feel like? Do you know? Do you know what it's like to be connected to your feminine? Because all of that stuff is what's playing out at the moment. Okay, that's why things are sticky. This is why things are not perhaps moving the way that you would like them to, because you're not allowing yourself to be in balance. Okay. So when will you move from your government job? When you choose. Everything is about choice. I'm still going to do you a reading. But that was just what was coming up from a awareness around your body and like energetic body awareness, where you're at with your flows, your balance, your masculine, feminine energies, all that sort of stuff. Yep, exactly. So interestingly, so we've got the Hanged Man, but he's inverted. So to me, this is where you're feeling like you're stuck, right? So the Hanged Man often pops up when we perceive that we're stuck, but we actually aren't. And we just have to make that choice to reach up and untie our foot. So it's like you're blocking your own choices. You're blocking, you think you've got these interesting points of views, you've got these limiting belief systems flowing around in the background, that makes you feel like you're at the effect of everything and everyone else, but you're not. Okay, whatever is going on in your world, whatever is going on in your life right now, you have chosen it, and you've chosen to be there. You've chosen to take that job, stay in the job. You've chosen to put up with whatever you're putting up with. Okay, everything is a choice, whether we turn left in the doorway or right in the doorway, like to go out onto the street. It's all choice. Okay, yes, there is an overall divine plan, but it's like a picker path. There's multiple ways to get to the end goal. And if we get a little bit off track and we've gone for a bit too far of a tiki tour, then your team will pull you back in. Okay, but at the end of the day, the choice is still yours as to whether you reach up and untie your own foot or not. Okay, we've got the 8 of Pentacles here. Okay, so right now I'm sensing with this one that you're just focusing very, very hard on what's right in front of you, and you're not seeing the bigger picture. Okay, so what is the bigger picture for you? What is it that you're trying to achieve in your life, in your world, and perhaps stretch it out for the next 5 to 10 years, or even further than that? Sometimes what helps me when I'm getting a little bit too up close is to go right to my death point and go, truth, how would I like to be remembered? And look at it. That's a really, really big picture point, right? But when you start looking at it from that point of view, you can go, okay, well, if I am wishing to be remembered for maybe my philanthropy or helping the community or whatever, what am I doing right now that is contributing towards that? And is sitting at home on Netflix or my phone helping to achieve that? Probably not. So what can I do today? What can I do this week that's going to contribute to creating more of what I actually truly wish to have? Okay, it's not all about the money. This card here is for you. I'm seeing is just you're just being a little bit too focused on the little things and not looking at the bigger picture. See, and that's the other thing of how I'm aware that you're more diving into your masculine, because that's what the masculine tends to do. They don't tend to look at the bigger picture. They look at what's the here and now, and the feminine is the one that looks at the bigger picture. The feminine's the one that has to forward plan a really long way. It's part of our makeup. But if you're not allowing yourself to be in your feminine very much at the moment, then that's not what you're going to be able to be drawing on. So this card is again asking you to draw that feminine in, step back, look at the bigger picture. Okay. This next card is the 4 of Swords. Okay. I always find this card a really interesting card because some people see it as being a great strength card, a restful card, a pondering type of card. The Swords, of course, is to do with the mind. It's to do with intellect. It's an air sign. So it might be where this card is asking you to really sit back and rest and take a good hard look at the whole situation again. So it's a little bit of that. Other people see this card as a little bit of like it could be a person on the top of a coffin. So depends on which way you go with it, whether you're just lying on the thing that's dead, that is asking, like, perhaps whatever that is, whether that be your job or whether that be the property that you're living in, it might be time to move. So it's like, have a look at that. See which one resonates more for you. Is it the fact that it's asking you to take a step back and have a quiet moment, do some meditation, do some quiet pondering, having a look at it from that way? And or is it also a nice indication that you're like lying on the dead thing and you're not acknowledging that either? So have a look and see which one resonates more for you. This next one we've got is the 10 of Pentacles. This time it is money that is coming through. So are you allowing money to stop you from moving forward? And if you didn't allow money to stop you from moving forward, would you then be able to make some amazing connections? And where are you not making connections that could assist you in creating more? So let's have a look at that. So in this card, we've actually got two lovely people here that are chatting away. So who have you got that you could have a chat with in your world about maybe a new job? Who do you have, or who do you know already that might know of a property that you could move into? Start talking, start using your community, okay? And that might help you with both of those things. The next one we've got, which is inverted, interestingly enough, is the Wheel of Fortune card. So for you, Sherry, I'm getting with this one, you're trying to leave it up to chance as to when everything moves and when things change for you. You're just sort of like waiting. And it's like, no, the choice is yours. The choice is yours to move forward or not, okay? It's you make your own Wheel of Fortune. You are the master of your own Wheel of Fortune. And if you don't believe that, start thinking about where your higher self sits in amongst all of this. So what I would recommend to you to be able to turn it from this way to this way is to have a look at maybe doing some nice quiet meditation. I'm not sure if you were here earlier when I was talking about intuitive meditation and intuitive writing. Perhaps this is one of those moments where you could sit and listen to some meditative songs for 5 minutes. Just do a timer and listen to those songs for like 5 minutes, and then right at the top of your page, what would be my next most perfect job for me? And so write that down before you start your meditation, okay? And then do your 5 minutes just to give your mind and body a chance to de-stress a little, to let go, to allow your feminine to come up, to rebalance a little bit before you do it. And then after that 5 minutes, then start writing, okay? And it's one of the ways that you'll start tuning into your intuition, which is more of your feminine side anyway, and allowing that to come through, which will help you to make easier choices to move forward. And you can do the same with your moving. You might find that changing out of your government job may even make where you live more bearable or easier, or it may be even pleasant. So I'm not sure what is going on with your housing situation, but that one there may be eased with a change of job anyway. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. Hope. Let's do your yummy card. Hey, Terry. Thank you for joining us. Of course, if you wish to have an extended reading, you're more than welcome to pop through a little wee donation. It's there in the show notes. It's rolling across the bottom of the page. Hey, Sherry, you got hope. Okay, so don't give up hope of achieving what you wish to achieve. Don't give up hope of changing jobs or your living situation or all the rest of it. There is absolutely hope. The cards just told you, don't give it up. It's still there. There's a load of hope and good things to come to you. It's just going to require you to make some choices. Okay? I hope that helps, Sherry. Thank you for coming to play with us today. I'm super grateful for you. And that was me letting Sherry go. All right. Okay, for those of you who have not yet had a reading, because I'm really, really hot. I really require to get out of this room soon. So I'm going to do one more round of gratitude book readings. Okay, so if you have not yet had one, had a reading, please pop in your number between 1 and 88, the first one that pops into your head, not your favorite number. Okay, so those of you who have not yet had a reading, like Lisa or Terry, would you like to just pop in the first number that pops up, please? Oh, not tired, just hot. Just very, very hot. Yep. My room, I can't open the windows or anything in here. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Terry. And so it's just really super stuffy. And even though I've got the fans going and everything, it's just like, all right. And I've still got to finish packing the car for tomorrow for the Crystal Pyramid Fair. So, yay. Okay, Lisa. We got the loss. In these days of sorrow, now that Dad has left us, he is at peace with life. To have no more suffering and no more tears. Although we grieve, we can say goodbye, knowing the memory of him will be with us forever. I'm sorry. Will be with you to remember the good times and smile. Interesting. Lisa, is there someone that has passed in your world recently? Maybe there's been a death of some sort, whether it be person, business, whatever. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out why you chose 82. So what are you grieving? Is there something there that you're grieving? Maybe it's not a person, maybe it's a thing. Okay. Yeah. So with this one, it's an interesting one because it's like there's that space of ouch. And yes, a lot of surrender, a lot of having to let go of those projections and expectations. Yeah, there's a lot. Breathe, okay? And have those moments of acknowledgement and gratitude for what has been there and what is now going. There's some big shifts happening in your world, and it's like that particular poem generally comes up when there is, like, when we think about losing a parent, it's like that's a big shift in your world. So if it is your business that's going through that big change and big shift, that's because I know that you've put so much heart, time, soul, effort into that business, and if it's changing at the moment, ouch. Yep. That space of like just allowing yourself to let go is creating a bit of a wrinkle in your world, as somebody I used to know would say. It's creating a bit of a wrinkle in your world. So give yourself some peace and calm and kindness and nurturing around that. Okay. Yeah, it's funny because it's actually the top of my left right breast, which is like just going. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening for you, and that to me tells me it's a nurturing, mothering thing as well. So allow yourself that space to just have a look at what it is that is being triggered right now. Do some deep dives with that. Look at where you're sitting with perhaps your inner child with that. There was a reading at the top of the show which was talking about like the general reading was talking about nurturing your inner child and having a look at where she requires some perhaps some acknowledgement and some forgiveness as well. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. Okay. Your mum's there, She's around you. She truly is. Like, and she's like tickling up my neck at the moment. Oh dear. But I'm also getting that there was some interesting shoulder stuff with her too. So maybe she shouldered a lot in her life. And it's a tough job being a mum. Tough job. Yeah. It's because you've been doing it all, hun. Perhaps it's time to surrender a little bit. Maybe she feels like she doesn't really require to be super in your face because she knows that you've got it. She knows you've got it handled. Yeah. Beautiful. I'm sorry that you've had a tough day. Thank you for sharing that. Take some big, deep breaths. Come back into you, okay? And have a look at so whatever he is doing that is triggering you and making you feel like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this, and the grief that's coming up, have a look what's underneath that, okay? And go a bit further and see where the core of that is. Because you might find that if you can figure that out for you, then perhaps you'll see it will help him too. Okay. Alrighty. And jumping back up to Terry. Hi, Terry. Oh, you're welcome, Lisa. You're so welcome. Big hugs to you, honey. If I ever get back to New Zealand, I'll have to look you up. Night, Lynn. Thank you for coming to play. 12. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, Terry. Hopefully you're here and you're floating around. So, Terry, you got lovers and friends. Someone to lean on, someone to care for, someone to hug, someone to kiss, someone to confide in, someone to listen, someone to have fun with, and someone to love. So you might see this as being multiple different people. But what I'm actually hearing for you, Terry, is this is where you really do have to be this for you. You have to be that person that cares about you. You have to be the person that gives yourself those inner hugs. You have to be the person that desires to be kissed and, you know, enjoys that intimacy with yourself. You have to be sorry, just get rid of that. You have to be the one that loves you. If you have that level of intimacy and kindness, caring, nurturing that is being spoken about in this poem with you, then if you're single, you'll attract more of that. Like you'll attract someone who responds to that within you, and not from a place of lack. It'll be from a place of contributing to you. Whereas if you're constantly searching for other people to be all of those elements for you, then what you'll get into is a codependent type relationship, or a narcissistic one, or a gaslighting type one, or one that's just super judgmental. Okay, so this is very much about you and how you are with yourself. So one of the questions that I would ask you is, Truth, are you your own best friend? How do you speak to yourself or with yourself? Do you speak to yourself or with yourself? There's a real big difference there. And if you do speak with yourself, then you'll find that having that space to be this kindness, caring, and nurturing will be a lot easier for you. All right. Hope that helps, Terry. All right, my beautiful ones. So that is it for me today. I am hot. I require to go and cool off, have something nice and chill out, go have some nice cold water, and finish packing up my car for tomorrow. So of course I'm going to be out at the Crystal Pyramid Fair tomorrow from 10 till 4, and that's at the Barraga Recreational Centre. The Crystal Pyramid Psychic Fun Day from 10 till 4. That is out at Kelly Road, I think I said it was. That one. Yes, 140 Kelly Road, Modbury North. All right, so if you're floating around North Adelaide somewhere and you'd like to come in, grab a quick 30-minute session with me, then you're more than welcome to do so. Other than that, I will be back on Tasty Tuesdays with Michelle Bennett, who is from Elevated Health, who's an iridologist. So she literally looks into your eyeballs and sees what stuff is going on, and like body-wise, body health-wise and stuff like that. It's super, super interesting. And we have slides to share so that she can talk a little bit more about what she sees and how she goes about doing the work that she does. She's also a nutritionist, and she does lots of cool stuff. So I'm really looking forward to having a nice, yummy, tasty conversation with her on Tuesday this week. Air conditioning, not in my house. Angelita, no, not in my house. Every now and then you will strike a house in Adelaide that has zero air conditioning. It's particularly the older houses that haven't had the upgrades. So, yes, it's a hot little place. It's my house in the summertime, especially when it's as hot as it is right now. So let me just do a little quick. So let's say so just so that, because you're in a very car, I will tell you how hot it has been today. It has been around about 98 degrees Fahrenheit today. And we're going to be up around that. We have been that for the last couple of days, roughly around there, and it's going to carry on through tomorrow, and we're going to have like 90s right through till about Wednesday next week. So we're all roasting. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the recreation centre has got really amazing aircon tomorrow. So yeah, it's pretty full on, but thank goodness it's dry heat down here in Adelaide. We're not up in Queensland, which has got a lot of humidity. Me and humidity, it's even worse. It's like I'd be out on that bed behind me rather than on the show tonight. So yeah. Anyway, my loves, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm super duper duper grateful for you. Thank you to everybody who has donated. That is just made my day. I am so grateful. And yeah, we're all starting to melt. If only that meant that we could melt some of this extra insulation, right? But anyway, it's all good. So, my loves, until I see you next time, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this incredible community. Oh, and last week's donations, because I'm going to continue to do donations once a month. Last week's donations went to the Men's Shed Australia, and the Men's Shed Australia actually supports both males and females. They do workshops and things where you get to go in and create, and I think it's really important that everybody has a space where they can communicate with others with ease, because sitting in a doctor's or a counselor's office or a therapist's office isn't always going to work for some people. Sometimes when you're sitting there, or standing there rather, and creating something, whether it be a chopping board or a bird bath or whatever it might be, and you have that capacity or ability to have a chat with someone who is on the same sort of wavelength as you, can make the world of difference to making you feel not quite so lost and alone. And so that's why I chose them last week. I thought it felt like it was just a really appropriate place to go. It also speaks to my heart, because I love to do woodworking and stuff like that too. So it truly did speak to my heart in a lot of ways. And I would love to go to one of their the women's shed and go and play with the tools and go and create something. That would just be really, really awesome. So yeah, that's where the donations for the Find You Friday crew went last week. So thank you very much, everybody, and I look forward to joining you next week, next time, whether you join me for the Tasty Tuesday show or back here on Find You Fridays. I would love to see you, and until then, do something tasty for yourself. I don't care what it is. And in the meantime, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. Bye-bye.